How do you do, Megan-san? I guess it was only time before I would make a response to one of your videos. I watched this video some time ago. I have a slightly different take on things. This is my opinion. I respect your opinion and what you had to post out here. As far as the fear and the pain thing, I have a different perspective on it. I don't think if a person makes a choice to transition, I don't think they should make a decision to transition physically out of pain. As far as fear goes, a lot of people will think their own things anyway. You can't always worry about what people are going to say, what they're going to think, or what's going on there. Everybody is so different. In this regard, you have to be kind of selfish, I suppose. Doing physical transition, it is selfish to some degree, but in fact, I think it is a good thing. There's three scenarios of pain that I have come into to recognize to outline this point. The first one is a person who works 9 to 5 at a regular job. How do you describe that kind of job? Oh, professional job. Where you wear a button-down shirt, you have tie, and you wear dress pants, and you wear dress shoes. Some people will wear a suit. They're expected to have an image where they'll have short hair. They have to have the grooming right. They run into people all the time. They get paid a certain amount of money, which is a good thing. But there's things that are expected of them because they're in the professional world. There's a certain image that comes with that. Now, from the 9 to 5 perspective, when they work Monday to Friday, they have to uphold that image. I mean, if they go home, then they can go and do whatever they want. That's assuming that they're not working overtime or extra hours. There is some pain with that because they don't get to look the way they want to look all the time. The second scenario that I see is somebody who is part of the community but exclusively likes guys, and they only feel comfortable being around them or maybe being with them in a way if they look in the form of a woman. I think there's a true genuine pain there because it allows somebody to be inhibited, that they don't grow, through having a relationship or being comfortable or possibly pursuing a relationship with someone that they love. That's the second pain. The third pain that I see is somebody who might be more like myself. They're part of the community. They like women, and they could have a thing for guys too, but their primary thing might be with women. But they're entirely in love with the image of women. They love women, they love the way they look, they want to look like one too. That's just more of an expression of who they are and what they are at that point, so they can make a choice. Now, how do I look at pain? Well, you can really break pain down into several different parts. I mean, I'm not going to say it's exclusively the pain of having to transition that's going to solve all kinds of problems. Pain is usually made up of many different parts. I mean, it could be the pain of not being in a relationship. That's one that comes to mind. That's a good one. I can't think of any others offhand, but there are other parts to it. You really have to look at yourself. Everybody's an individual, and everybody has different pain that's going on. If they want to put the blame on making a physical transition, I don't think that would be entirely true. The second example that I outlined with, someone who exclusively likes gay guys and feels comfortable when they're in that image, that might have more clout with anything. I think it's important for people to try to deal with that. I think therapy is fine, but they have to dig deep with themselves. They have to find out who they are, find out what kind of pain is there. How am I going to fix this? This is my example. When someone makes physical transition, of course, I'm not speaking from the perspective of somebody who has done a physical transition. I'm here, and this is my perspective. But I see it sort of a way as like buying a new car. I mean, the car is nice, it's a new style, it's shiny, and if it's a car that's expensive, it might be a certain kind, And people will look at that and they say, oh, wow, that's a BMW. That person must make a lot of money. They must be very high. You know what? Their high level and status allows me a way. I have to really show them respect. I really do. Because they're probably greater than me. I mean, I drive a Volkswagen, or I drive a Yugo. You know what the Yugo is, but I'm not going to get into it. It's much higher level status. I think when somebody physically transitions, it's sort of the same way. But back to the car thing, it looks nice, it's fine, it probably handles well, it does what you want it to do, it's a high quality, but it's not going to solve problems in someone's life. It's not going to bring you that girlfriend. It's not going to necessarily do that type of thing. It's not going to solve any problems where, you don't have friends, or it's not going to make you a rich man. It's not going to do anything for you. It's a car. It's something that has an image, it has a certain thing with it, but it's not going to make you a better person. And, physical transition, guys, people, the world, they'll open the door for you. They'll do different things, and guys will leer at you. People have to be ready for that. They're going to give a certain amount of attention. Women would treat you a different way too. But it's sort of the same thing. It's not going to solve any problems. I think people have to really try to work on that. Pain is pain, but you look at it in different ways. Now, I see a lot of people out here. Well, there's certain people in the community that you see this as a fine example. They might have some anxiety issues or socialization issues. They're dealing with a certain level of discomfort. I think that stems from, probably this grand change that happened all of a sudden. People in the corporate world who have a certain type of job, it's hard for them to have a way to get used to things. I myself, I can explore things, I can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'll be caught in the 9-to-5 world again, sometime in the future. But I'm always going to have a way to let my hair grow long, have an experience with that, let my nails grow long, get to do little things so I can kind of get used to it. When somebody does a physical transition, as far as I can tell, it's almost like going through puberty, like, a genetic girl, and those changes come up really quick. It doesn't really give somebody a chance to get used to things very easily. I mean, if they transition via hormones, there's a certain way that comes about that. It is gradually. But people aren't used to the way their body looks. And a genetic girl's the same way. If a certain part of her body develops more, she might want to wear a sweater up top to just kind of hide things until she's comfortable. I don't think it's any different for us. That's where a lot of insecurity comes about. I think people's perception of us, when we feel insecure, or we're not sure of ourselves, or we have some anxiety, people can kind of pick that up. And that also projects a certain image in what's associated with trans people. That's something I really don't want to see. And I think that, people are out here who have transitioned, they can deal with the issues, they can find a way to do that. It's not that their purpose and choice is something that they shouldn't have done or it's forbidden. They were more or less destined to do that regardless of what they think, whether they know it or not. It's something that happened, and it truly is a good thing. I see it as something that's pretty much the cat's ass, and I look and I say, wow, I'm happy to be in this day and age. But people's perception of us can vary, and I think it's because they don't have a lot of information. So that kind of, whatever comes from them, offers another way of insecurities. And for us to deal with, we're not too sure, we get a certain reaction. So I advise everybody out there, and anybody who says this, to really put yourself out there, become involved with people, and if they ask questions, to be honest with them. I mean, that's your own discretion. Take that at your own pace, or what you think you're comfortable with. But people become comfortable when they are informed and they know things. And I think that, people will be more readily accepted in society. I'm running out of time, so I'll try to make a video.